And we're back in black, playing Iratus, Lord of the Dead, and today we're gonna talk about an easy way of defeating the last boss using at least 2 mummies and something else in the front line, and 1 spell we're also gonna use. We're gonna use this spell called Soul Leech, which is 35 to 45 stress damage and 20 physical damage around a minion. But since the mummies, as it so happens, have a lot of HP, it doesn't matter if they take a little bit of damage, so it's kind of a good synergy that we got going in on there. So, what are we gonna use the mummies for? Why are we gonna use the mummies? Well, there's a couple of things about this fight which makes the mummies kind of ideal to deal with the last boss. So first of all, they have a feature which whenever something attacks, it gains -10 luck, which is very good because it of course stacks with their ultimate, where you deal 1 extra stress damage point for each negative luck that the opponent has. The last boss starts with 30 luck, but we can easily reduce it down to like -90. I'm gonna do this with level 1 mummies just to show that you can do it with level 1 mummies, but it's of course even easier if you have level 2 mummies, because you can use the clinging wraps, which makes target lose 10 luck if it's unupgraded, but 20 luck if it's upgraded. And what's also so nice about Savage Wraps is that it grabs the last boss and it brings her closer, because she has a tendency to get to the very end of the line, to the very end of all her minions, which makes you kind of forced to deal with her minions. But if you have enough mummies, you can just bring her to the front all the time. Your frontliners can deal whatever stress damage they want, and the mummy can use to amplify curses, because she will get so much negative luck, because the feature will trigger whenever she goes into her stance that attacks you whenever you attack her. So if you attack her with clinging wraps, she will get -10 or -20 luck from the wraps, and then she get another -10 luck from this feature. So you will easy, get her down to very, very low in luck. Couple this with amplify curses, which is an insane amount of stress damage, and couple this with Soul Leech, and you have an easy fight. I'm also gonna use a skeleton in this fight. You can use pretty much anything that deals stress damage in the front rows. The skeletons have a nice ability called Embrace Mediocrity, which deals 50% of their remaining sanity. So it's only good in the beginning. It doesn't, do much in the end of the fight. So in the end of the fight, you can use Shield Banger if you have a lot of rage or whatever that red resource called. I don't even remember. Or you can just go into a blocking stance if you want to. Where is it? Astounding Fortitude, for instance. It's also fine. You can use the Dark Knight, go into Futile Hopes, you can use Wraiths, use Ghostly Fire. I used 1 Wraith also in the fight, and it was quite nice because they have a lot of block, they have a lot of ward, which is quite nice. But let's just jump into the fight and I'll walk you through it. So here we are going into the last boss. We have, as you can see, we have level 1 zombies, 2 of them, level 6 Wraith, and level 6 Skeleton. But as I said earlier, you don't need to have the exact minions like this in front. It is pretty nice that I have an item which gives everyone plus ward. That quite helps out a lot, I would say. But if you can get ward in some other way on your minions, from equipment or something, that could be, pretty much the same. So here I go for -20% over her sanity, which is quite nice. You should usually just use these in the beginning, and with this guy I think I'm just gonna wait, because she's not in front, but I'm going to drag her to the front. That's one of the difficult parts about this fight, that she often stays in the back, and it makes it difficult for the frontliners to actually deal with her. But when you have these guys which can drag her to the front, it becomes much easier to deal with her. We'll take a little bit of damage here, but it's fine. The Cling Wraps are starting to stack up some minus, luck on her, but she starts off with 30 luck, so she's quite the lucky girl. And here we go for it again. And she's down to 10 luck, but we're of course gonna bring her down even lower. But as I said, these are level 1 mummies, so they're not super strong. Here I go for the Cursed Flames. Cursed Flames heals some stress damage, and then every turn they take a little bit extra stress damage. But since it's a curse, it doesn't stack with itself, unfortunately. And here I go for a little bit of extra damage on this girl. I'm just sacrificing the skeleton. Since this is the last boss anyway, you can safely sacrifice your minions at this point. And you don't need to have a level 6 skeleton in this fight at all. Level 1, I think level 2 is optimal, probably. So that you get the -20% sanity thing that you can use on her. And here with the Wraith, we're gonna go. Yes, I went for survival. I probably should have just gone for the flames, to be perfectly fair. Because I have so much ward on this guy anyways. He's not gonna die. Nothing's gonna happen to him anyway, so doesn't need that extra ward on him. So you should have just gone for the flames for like 15 extra stress damage. And now it's gonna start to stack up, because now she's soon gonna go... Oh, hasn't gone into her post yet. Okay, here we use Amplify Curses. We don't get the extra damage, but at least she doesn't have any luck, so that's cool. We crit with this. Another added benefit of her going down very on negative luck is that we are gonna crit a lot against her, of course, when this happens. It makes it even easier to kill her when she starts going down really, really low with her luck. Yep, and we get some Ignite on, but the mummies are quite sturdy. They have a lot of HP, so they're not going down that easily. And here we use Soul Leech again. And see who takes it. This guy. But blocked by the block. And here we use the ultimate of the Wraith. I don't think it mattered too much. Maybe I got it to the front, which probably helped a little bit, maybe. I don't know. A little bit. But now she goes into her shield, finally. And we have a lot of, I think it's called Anger, that resource. The red resource, I don't remember. Anyway, so we're using Hex Beam here. And it's gonna deal some stress damage. And we're also gonna get her to -10 with that attack. So now any further attacks deals even more stress damage. And here I will go for the Hex Beam. Unfortunately, I'm in a little bit of a bad position, so, and I also don't have the rage to be able to use the ultimate here. Else I would have gone. And he blows up. Luckily, he doesn't crit, which is good. Because if these guys start critting, that could end your run. I mean, that's probably true for most parties, which don't kill the minions. And we target her again with the Cursed Flames. Get a little bit of extra damage. And the ward blocking her stance thing there. Oh, she is out there stance. I'm lying. I'm lying. Sure. We'll go for a little bit more of Soul Leech. And now she's very, very low. And she's starting to stack up with her minus luck also. -20. She's a 64 damage from that without even a critting, which is pretty good. And then we do another ultimate. She doesn't die from that. Needs a little bit more of stress. Just anything will probably trigger a heart attack at this point. And this guy blows up. Luckily, he doesn't crit also. I mean, we would still, you know, probably have survived even if he did the crit there. And I just go for a Sorrow to finish her off. I could also go for the Ghost Flames when I finish her off as well. That's it! That's how we defeat the last boss. In kind of an easy, I don't know how cheesy this is. A little bit cheesy maybe. But thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.